Hello and welcome to Patrick Come Lately Talk Radio. This is Stefan, your host, British by birth, American by choice. The Founding Fathers crafted some remarkable documents that led to the creation of a great country founded on liberty and self-reliance. I have lived in the Euro-socialist nightmare, and I'm doing what I can to return this country to the vision that the Founding Fathers gave us. We need to strive to rebuild that shining city on the hill, for without us, the world has nowhere to turn for freedom. For the next hour, I will be presenting news, views, and guests that help keep the true spirit of America alive. And good evening, good afternoon, good morning. This is Stefan, your Patrick Come Lately, welcoming you to episode 250, wherever, whenever you're listening to the show. Welcome to this great milestone. Before we get into the show, and I've promised you a what-if look into the future, but before we do that, first of all, some music. And that is the very talented Krista Branch with her song I Am America. Get us in a positive mood before we go into the future and see how things might turn out rather differently than in that song. So, as I said, tonight's show, 250th episode. Thank you for joining me, whether you're joining me live or listening to the recordings or listening to the rebroadcast on the Red State Talk Radio Network. It's thanks to you, my listeners, that I've been able to keep going this long, and hopefully have a few more shows after this as well. I want to continue on. But anyway, let's head off into the future. And let's see what we can find out on the radio. The news today on July 4th, 2019. Today was a milestone in history as the ceremony marking the final dissolution of the United States of America took place. The ceremony was quite amicable compared to the anger and bitterness of the preceding 3 years. The 2016 election results created a map clearly defining red America and blue America, and it sparked a debate, unlike any in the last 150 years, over whether the United States should remain united. For many in the leftist coastal states, their progressivism constrained by the overwhelming congressional advantage of the conservative interior states, the answer was no. As a liberal thought leader, Michael Tomasky wrote of the South, "Practically the whole region has rejected nearly everything that's good about this country and has become just one big nuclear waste site of choleric and extremely radicalized resentment. Forget about the whole fetid place. Write it off. Let the GOP have it and run it and turn it into free market Jesus paradise. The Democrats don't need it anyway." Soon it became an article of faith within the liberal elite that it was not only their party that did not need the rest of America, blue America itself, they argued, did not need red America, economically, intellectually, or morally. It was not long till newly elected Governor de Blasio of New York demanded a national convention to discuss a parting of the ways. The president, her health poor and her heart firmly with the blue America, half-heartedly tried to stop the movement, but more and more high-profile Democrat politicians joined the chorus. The president yielded and called for a national convention on the way forward as separate nations. Red America, furious at her continuation of Barack Obama's rule by decree and interference with its affairs, agreed to attend. That was, folks, 2 years ago. Today, President de Blasio, elected leader of the Democratic States of North America, and President Abbott of the Republic of America, stood together on the platform on the border at St. Louis to sign the Dissolution Pact. The countries have split the national debt and apportioned federal assets, while agreeing to temporarily share the currency. They divided the military, along with all nuclear capabilities, but signed a mutual defense agreement. There will be free travel between and through the new nations. We will remain good neighbors, President de Blasio remarked. Even if we are no longer brothers, sisters, or differently gendered siblings, President Abbott politely maintained a poker face. So, folks, there we are. America has finally split. Two parts. Red America, Blue America. Blue America, the coastal states. The Northeast states, obviously the coast, and obviously the left coast, California as well. And that was one of the reasons why the travel through the red states was necessary, because of course the blue states did want to be able to talk to each other. Anyway, let's see how things went a little bit further into the future. The news today, August 3rd, 2019. Today, President de Blasio, after his return to the capital city, New York, of Blue America, has been speaking about the Republic of America. He was not very charitable. We are no longer held back by the reactionary, racist policies of the past, he thundered. Together, we will build a new dawn of progress that places people before profits and promotes peace instead of perpetual war. The democratic states of North America, New England and the mid-Atlantic seaboard, back through Ohio, Indiana and Illinois, the West Coast and Hawaii, immediately set to drafting a new constitution. This new constitution was announced today, and it features 260 new affirmative rights, including the right to a living wage, the right to abortion on demand at government expense, and the right to define one's own life experience in terms of race and gender. Surprisingly enough, the rights to free speech and the free exercise of religion were originally not part of the initial draft. When that initial draft was leaked, they were hastily added, but there was definitely no right to keep and bear arms. In fact, the first law the new People's Assembly passed days after the dissolution was to confiscate all privately owned weapons. The second was to legalize all illegal aliens, and the third was to triple welfare payments. Editorial note here. Can you see which direction this is going in, folks? Okay, time for a quick commercial break here. It is the 250th episode, but we will continue to have some commercials here. Got to pay the rent.
You can lose 10, 20, 30 pounds or more with Maximum Slim's first ever rapid weight loss guarantee. Today, you get Maximum Slim, an advanced fat and carb blocker, absolutely risk-free. The all-natural ingredients in Maximum Slim are a powerful weight loss combination. The Maximum Slim formula turns your body into a fat-burning furnace that supercharges your weight loss. Advanced fat and carb blocker stops the breakdown of sugar so your body doesn't store it as fat. Today, you'll get both of these products absolutely risk-free with no obligation. Only pay shipping. There are no expensive meal plans or exhausting DVDs. Just take Maximum Slim twice a day. It's fast, simple, and now it's guaranteed. Look, you can start losing weight today or not. Go back to your high school days and wear your favorite jeans again. Guaranteed. Call now and get both weight loss formulas free. Call 800-451-0228. 800-451-0228. That's 800-451-0228.
Doc, you gotta give it to me straight.
All right.
'Cause I'm dying here. I mean, take a look at this letter from the IRS.
Oh, my.
This is killing me, Doc. I tell you, it's killing me.
Cheer up, my friend.
Huh?
The tax doctor is here. My diagnosis tells me that you're going to be just fine.
Really?
The tax doctor will not rest until we find you the best possible tax settlement.
Really, Doc?
Guaranteed.
If the IRS claims you owe them $10,000 or more in business or personal back taxes, call a tax doctor right now. We could save you up to 75% if you qualify. Guaranteed or you pay nothing. Call right now for free details.
800-917-8546. 800-917-8546. 800-917-8546. That's 800-917-8546.
This is Patrick Come Lately Talk Radio, coming to you live via the internet, via rebroadcast on WRSDB, the Red State Talk Radio Network, or from the recordings at archives.patrickcomelately.us. And this is Stefan, your Patrick Come Lately. We are taking a step into the future, and a future where Red America and Blue America have split. So let's move forward again, and let's go to the next step. And this is KCLY Denver News on today, November the 15th, 2019. After many months of discussion here in the capital of the new capital of the Republic of America, here in Denver, the Congress of, or actually the Congress, the Convention of the Republic of America has affirmed the Constitution that was in place for the prior to the dissolution. They have affirmed the Constitution, and they have also affirmed the national hymn will continue to be the Star-Spangled Banner. Please rise.
So proudly we hail, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the red
Congress has now announced that after this reaffirmation of the Constitution, they will start reviewing all existing laws, statutes, and regulations with a view to repealing as many as possible of them. It will run into the thousands. The leader of the House also confirmed that there would be a limit on social spending, and it would be dramatically limited because they are making known the expectation that able-bodied adults would support themselves and their families. President Abbott said that with these reductions, the non-military part of the federal government in the Republic of America will be about 1/4 the size of the government in the democratic states of North America. In world news, we have seen that the world is unsure how to deal with this new reality. The international elite and its lapdog media have quickly taken to portraying us in the Republic of America with the same kind of venom that the elitists in Blue America are showing to us. Very recently, President de Blasio was caught on an open mic at the United Nations, which is still located in New York, telling the foreigners there that the democratic states feel a greater kinship to our progressive friends in Europe than those redneck, racist Jesus freaks next door. The Republic of America has stopped paying its UN dues, and it sent John Bolton to be its ambassador again. After Israel, the Republic has become the most investigated and censured of any UN member state. But President Abbott has said, I don't care. The democratic states has little use for the military that it inherited. Although the Dissolution Pact stipulates that both new nations would maintain a certain level of combat readiness, in the democratic states, the services were the first in line to be cut when the welfare payments were tripled. As we have been forced to meet America's defense needs alone, we have slashed non-military spending and instituted 2 years of mandatory military service for every citizen as the only way to meet the need for manpower. Okay, editorial note, folks. We're going to jump into the future again. For today's commentary on the news, July 27th, 2020, we have been seeing over the last year or so how many people have been leaving the Republic of America. A number of them to avoid our now mandatory 2 years of military service, but even larger number to collect the triple level welfare benefits being provided by the democratic states across the border. However, the cross-border flow has not been in one direction. Many, many more are coming in from the democratic states. Because we cast off useless regulations and cut taxes, and don't forget, the democratic states passed the Fair Share Act, increasing the top income tax rate to 74.5% on earnings over $250,000. And the inflation that has taken place there means that very few people are earning under $250,000. Anyway, so with the casting off of useless regulations and the taxes that we cut, here in the Republic of America, we have unleashed a whirlwind of economic activity. We were prosperous at the time of the dissolution, but we are getting even richer. One of the reasons is fracking was outlawed in the democratic states, whereas in the Republic, we've become the world's #1 petroleum exporter. Democratic states' laws banning nuclear and coal power have led to us building a line of coal plants running parallel to the Kentucky northern border, where it joins to Blue, Ohio, selling to the democratic states the power it refuses to generate itself. The ban on GMO crops and many pesticides meant that the fruit production in the democratic states cratered, something that our farmers in the Republic of America are very happy to fill. And not just that. Cities like Denver, Dallas, Atlanta, and others have grown their own tech and entertainment industries, built on refugees from Silicon Valley and Hollywood, looking for an environment where success is not penalized. The Republic of America is supplying itself with what the democratic states used to provide. Okay, folks. It's time for a quick break. Some more commercial messages. I will be back after these breaks. We will continue with this interesting look into the future.
Patriot come lately. British by birth. American by choice. Just like the Founding Fathers. The voice of the conservative resistance.
Every day, millions of Americans grow more concerned about the future of our great nation. The truth is, over the last century, a small but powerful collectivist movement known as progressivism has debased our politics, our culture, and our currency. We're just a small step from falling into 1,000 years of darkness, as Ronald Reagan warned. Friend, this is Pat Boone with an important free offer on a hot new book called The Great Withdrawal by Craig Smith and Lowell Ponte. This new book explains how we, the people, can end this fatal detour into big government and get back on the path of faith and freedom charted by our founders. Call now for a free copy of the hot new book called The Great Withdrawal.
Call now for your free copy. 800-978-3901. 800-978-3901. 800-978-3901. That's 800-978-3901.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS that you can't pay? Call now for immediate help. At the Tax Relief Line, we help people just like you. If you take on the IRS alone, you could be facing levies, liens, even wage garnishments, personal or business tax issues. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, call now and see if you can pay less. They can freeze your bank accounts, even garnish your wages. Call the Tax Relief Line now for immediate help. Our expert team of tax professionals will negotiate your tax problem and deal with the IRS for you. If the IRS is threatening you with levies, wage garnishments, or seizing your assets, call now and see if you can pay the IRS less.
888-789-5043. 888-789-5043. 888-789-5043. 888-789-5043.
This is Patriot Come Lately Talk Radio, keeping the spirit of America alive, a proud member of the Red State Talk Radio Network. And thanks for sticking with me through that break. We had landed in 2020, July, a lot of things going on, but we're going to take another leap. And with commentary on today's news, this is KCLY in Denver with your news commentary for today, April the 21st, 2021. Problems across the border. We see that the Democratic states of America are having even more problems because of their deficit. Thank goodness that our Congress added one new amendment to the Constitution, and that was to ensure a balanced budget. Now, I know that we had some issues with keeping the budget balanced when we had to send our military to support Israel after the Jewish state came under massive attack for destroying Iran's nuclear weapons program. Our friends across the border, as many of you know, not only refused to assist, but refused to let our forces use its bases or ports in support of Israel. However, there are many rumors that pilots from the Republic in B-2 bombers and F-22 fighters flew many of the original anti-nuke missions over Iran alongside the Israeli Air Force. But of course, that has never been confirmed by the government. With its economy in tatters, of course, the Democratic states are looking for a scapegoat. They have riots erupting, Chicago, Philadelphia. And so the liberal ruling elite has decided that we, the Republic of America, will be its scapegoat. Red plants pollute our skies, red corporations exploit the land, and red bankers steal our wealth. Vice President Warren mentioned in a recent speech, we need to fight back against the red wreckers. The only wreckers are the people who are wrecking the Democratic states' economy, because the middle class and the job creators are streaming across the border. Everybody has been coming here into the Republic, bringing their money with them. Over the last year and a half, 2 years, hundreds of billions of dollars have flowed out of the Democratic states into our Republic. Now, the Democratic states have been insisting that we have to provide banking information on these tax sheets, or we have to have our tax officials collect unpaid taxes that have been deposited in our banks. Because we refuse to do this, President de Blasio breached the Dissolution Pact by outlawing the free transit of people and currency, basically setting up a wall across America. Thank goodness that our administration had seen this coming and knew that this was going to happen even before the Democratic states would admit to themselves that they were headed towards disaster. We had planned for the migration and had already ensured that the newcomers would not be allowed to vote into effect the same liberal policies they had abandoned. So all aspiring citizens had have to serve their military obligation before being allowed to vote. And because many did not, and because the Heinlein Act succeeded by ensuring that every voting red American citizen had skin in the game, it meant that we did not introduce any liberal policies. Now, with the dissolution of the pact, the democratic states, as I said, threw up a wall dividing the continent. It secured the internal borders and it barred its citizens' exit. They decided they could not afford to lose any more people. Our government has taken good action. Very quickly and quietly, our military forces were spread out along the border, and at every border crossing point, we turned back every single truck, train, carrying food or fuel into the democratic states. At the same time, every power station feeding power into the democratic states was turned offline. And we are now waiting. Let's see what happens now. Today's news for today's news for May the 2nd. May the 2nd, the day after May Day. It has taken just 12 days before President de Blasio has used the hotline to call President Abbott and to cave. This is actually 7 days less than President Abbott's National Security Council had estimated. In those 12 days, there had been a lot of talk in the New York Times and other democratic media about surviving on alternative power and utilizing green growing techniques in urban spaces to meet the country's energy and food needs. But that did not last long. The grocery stores went bare with terrifying speed. The limousine liberals would always be well-fed and safe in their gated communities, but no one else would be. The lie that was the liberal promise was there for all to see. Riots throughout the democratic states, lack of food. De Blasio had no option but to call Abbott. And here is a transcript that was recorded and broadcast to all of the people in the Republic of America and in the democratic states. Sure, Mr. President, we can talk about going back to how it was, President Abbott said gently. You'll be honoring our deal from here on, right? Good. Oh, and I am going to need you to do one more thing for me. No, it's nothing too big. Just an apology. By you, on live television, with no hedging, about how sorry you and your friends are for those unkind things you said over the years about us redneck, racist Jesus freaks who feed you, fuel you, and keep your sorry asses safe. Oh, I'm as serious as a heart attack. Well, I'll look forward to watching it. Goodbye now, and God bless you all. God bless the Republic of America. So, folks, that was my look into the future. What could happen, who knows? All the divisiveness that's going on in this country, not impossible. Do I think it could happen as quickly as suggested in this? Perhaps not. But before I have some comments on this, time for another quick break, and I'll be back after these commercials.
Reporting from the eye of the storm. This is the worst weather we've seen in quite some time, folks. And I don't see any end in sight. People have been calling in from across the state complaining their basements are flooding. One guy said he now has an indoor swimming pool in his basement. I told him he needs the waterproofing innovations from Basement Systems. If you want a dry basement or crawl space that will weather any kind of storm, you need the patented solutions from Basement Systems. You've seen them on home makeover shows throughout the country. With a lifetime warranty, every solution is custom designed for your basement. Call now for a free estimate, and you'll never have to worry about storms like these again. I'm predicting this storm front is heading your way, so call Basement Systems and relax.
Call 800-205-8665 for your free in-home inspection, or visit basementradiooffer.com. That's 800-205-8665, or visit basementradiooffer.com.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call, but I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free, just for calling 877-750-5371. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-750-5371. That's 877-750-5371.
This is Patrick Come Lately Talk Radio, coming to you live via the internet, via rebroadcast on WRSDB, the Red State Talk Radio Network, or from the recordings at archives.patrickcomelately.us. And thanks for sticking with me. We're in the final segment of the show. Hope you enjoyed that little look into the future. Interesting view. Don't really see it happening, but you never know with all the divisiveness. And I promised my listeners in some of the Facebook, Twitter postings about the show, little or no State of the Union talk tonight. What I do want to say, though, is a divided America is one thing, one message that I take away from the State of the Union. He's just been trying to, King Barry's just been trying to divide America, and if something like that little fictional story were to happen, we could lay the blame at his feet. Even the left-wing media in the press are calling his tax hike proposals a political ploy, and if they're doing it, then you know it must be true. The vast majority of these tax increases are supposedly aimed at the rich, but we all know that they would invariably affect millions of Americans who do not qualify as well off by any standard definition. And it's all sort of nice. Oh yeah, well this is, for the good of people and the middle class, etc. But really it's just political, because it's a soak the rich pitch aimed at helping the White House maneuver ahead of negotiations with Republicans over tax code reforms. But they're also designed to appease an increasingly agitated Democratic base apprehensive over what they see as frustratingly slow and casual approach by King Barry to wealth distribution. The president hoped that the media would not recognize his naked attempt to appeal to the left wing, and he was hoping, probably, that they would characterize his proposals as honest attempts to address the problem of economic disparity. Let's have a look, see what Cokie Roberts of NPR said. This tax proposal is designed to embarrass Republicans into looking like they're protecting the rich. And the New York Times' Neil Irwins acknowledged that Obama's tax hike proposals were not so much about tax policy, but about shaping the Democratic Party after Obama. It defeats Obama's purpose if the press analyze his tax hike proposals through the lens of politics. He was trying to be seen as a post-political colossus, bestriding the partisan divide. In fact, his aim is to exacerbate political tensions and position his party as just populist enough to capitalize on the public's residual irritation with the pace of economic recovery. That, folks, is so true. Another thing that was mentioned in the State of the Union was the fact that Obama kept on saying how good things were. The Obama economy was a recovery. Well, we know that's not true, but here are some very specific things that you can have in discussions with your left-wing friends. However, I see that we're getting... No, we've got time for some. Okay. First of all, the economy is not recovering or healthy for anyone but the corporate elite. Billionaires, bankers, Wall Street. Main Street and small businesses are dying. Obama's supporters claim healthcare costs are down while GDP is up. Well, here are the facts. Health insurance premiums have gone up more in the past year than in the 8 years prior to Obamacare, combined. And that's precisely why GDP is up, because almost the entire increase in third quarter GDP was fueled by the massive increase in healthcare costs due to Obamacare. So that, folks, is just purely a huge, great scam. Okay, folks, we're getting close to the end of this show. I hope you enjoyed this very special 250th edition. We will continue on. So I will be back next week. Please do join me. In the meanwhile, I think one more song. Again, another one. The ones I've played up to now have been sort of Tea Party anthems. And this final one is another one I've played a number of times. Want to get our spirits up. And this is Ava Aston with We the People.
Place and
for you and me. Together we are united. Together we are strong. With one voice we'll stand up against everything that's wrong. Time to stand up, time to speak out. We've gotta fight to get it back. Gotta reach out, get the thieves out. This country's ours, and we're taking it back. We the people, for the people, by the people. We've gotta fight to get it back. Gotta reach out, get the thieves out. This country's ours, and we're taking it back. We the people. Time to stand up, time to speak out. We've gotta fight to get it back. Gotta reach out, get the thieves out. This country's ours, and we're taking it back. We the people. We the people.
See you next week, folks. TTFN. Thank you for listening to this edition of the Patrick Come Lately Show. Please take what you have learned and share it with friends and family. Better still, tell them about the show so they can listen too. Remember to support the advertisers on the show. It helps keep this show on the air, and I thank you for that. I'm looking forward to joining you on the next show. Until then, keep spreading our message. Goodbye, and God bless America.